Hello and welcome all. This is the 15th video of the Terraform basic, and today we are going to discuss on the data resource part. So previously we see all the meta arguments, and for the provider we already discussed in more details, and you can find the link above for the provider. And for the provisioner and the connection meta arguments, we are going to discuss it in later stage because it will give you more clarity if we provide some, we will cover some more topics previously so that you can have a better understanding on these topics. So in this topic, we are going to discuss about the data resource. So data resource allow Terraform to use information defined outside of the Terraform, defined by the another separate Terraform configurations or modified by the function. So you have to use a different tag, like you are using for the variables. You have a different tag that you are using for the resource. You have a different tag that you are using. In the same way, to fetch the additional features of the any resources, you have to use the data resource to access it via a special kind of resource known as the data resource that is used with the data blocks. So in the previous example, you can see that we are doing a hard code. Okay, the AMI ID that we are using is a hard coded one. Okay, so now in these particular sessions, with the help of data resource, we are going to use it dynamically, and this dynamical feature for all the reasons. So we don't have to worry about which particular AMI we have to use. We are going to use the latest one for any of the AWS region, because the AMI I already mentioned in my past video is specific to a region. Okay, and it's going to change time by time, like you can see in the example 973 that we are using previously. Now we have some others, other AMI that created, that is the latest one with some advanced feature that provided by the Amazon. So we will see that things also, and how we are going to use. Previously we are using the var. Okay, the var, because we defined it as a hard coded using the variable, features that the default AMI we assign, and that we are using. Okay, so in this particular session we are going to see how we can use the data resource to get it in a dynamically order. So you can see that this is a data block, and if we have to use the AWS AMI because we are going to fetch the AMI for the AWS, and this is the local name that we are going to use. Okay, the most recent we are going to fetch, because if we not flag pass this particular things as a true, then in that case there is a quite possibility that we have several images that it get fetched. That in that case the Terraform will get confused that which particular image to pick. So always we have to pass it as a true for the most recent one. The owner, you can pass it as an Amazon, or if you have some other, you created some images in the AWS environment, you can use that as well. For you have to pass several filter criteria so that you can narrow down the AMI that you want to use on the basis of name, the root device type, the EBS that you are going to use, for the virtualization type HVM, for the architecture. So you have to provide all the things to narrow down for a particular specific AMI that you want to use. And don't forget to use this particular most recent to true, otherwise you have several images that you will get fetched using the same criteria. Okay, and for the AMI previously we are using the var. Now we are going to use the data, then the AWS AMI data, AWS AMI, and then the local name of that particular data resource, Amazon AMI that I am going to use. You can select any of them, and using the ID you can able to fetch the ID. Okay, and this is the tag. You already familiar with all these things. Okay, so now we are going to see the environment. In the AWS environment, I am going to apply first in the Mumbai region. Mumbai region is the AP South one. Okay, and we don't have any resources here. Okay, you can see it. Now I am going to the code. So you can see that we only have the two files. One is a variable, Previously we are using the 973. So first I'm going to create a launch a EC2 instance, and you can see that now the EC2 instance get changed. Previously we are using 973, which was latest at that time when we previously created a video using this particular AMI ID, and now it gets changed. So if you see that particular the history of the when the AMI is get created, you can find it here. Just select this particular AMI ID, copy it, and go to the this particular session EC2 instance. Here you can find the AMI, and you have to find it here for this particular AMI ID. Okay, so you can find it this particular AMI ID, and when it's get created, it have the all the history. So you can see the owner alias name is Amazon. It's currently available. Okay, and the creation date is March 3, 2022. And as per the latest image currently the Amazon is providing is this one. So this is the quite possible that this is the latest one that Amazon want us to use. So Amazon keeps on changing the or providing the feature using the different AMI. So you can find it here. This is the public one, and July 23. Okay, so this is the very latest one that currently Amazon asked us to use it. Is that this is the main problem that we are using the AMI. If we hard code the things in my code, okay, if we use the variable and hard do a hard code, then this particular AMI ID will get older after some days, and this AMI we are not going to use for the other reason, because if you see here that I'm going to launch an instance. Okay, and this is for the Mumbai region AA9C. Okay, this is the AMI for the Amazon Linux 2, and if I move it to the US East 1, you can find that the image is get changed. Look, 56 before. So each region have the latest AMI ID, and time to time it gets changed. So it's not a good practice to do it hard coded way. We have to use some features that will fetch the AMI ID as per our filter criteria. Okay, the things will clear now why we are using, because if we know that why we are going to use these dynamic features, if we have the understanding before using it, then the things will be more interesting. Okay, so what I can do here, uh, like I am going to uncomment this part. Okay, and previously we are using the variable, now we are using the data. Okay, so what we are using the data resource, and here we are going to provide the AWS AMI Amazon ID and the ID part, and the reason that we are going to use currently is also I am going to fetch it through the variable the AP South one. Okay, so this is the reason we are going to use. Here you can we have the reason specific things. For the filter, the most recent we have the true. So we are going to use the most recent one, and in all the cases there is no chance to have a two AMI which is the latest one. At the time all we have only one AMI for every regions. We have only one AMI that we are going to fetch, and the honors we are not using our images. I'm using the Amazon, and this is the pattern. Okay, so if you search for any particular latest AMI, you can find this pattern. If you go to the US AP South 1A, the Mumbai region, you can find this particular pattern here. Okay, so if you click on this particular AMI, let me copy it over the part. and just go to the EC2 instance and the AMI section. Okay, let me paste it here and search for it. So you can find the pattern here, the AMI name. Okay, I am taking till here, and then I am putting a stick. Anything that is possible will get it here, and the GP2, the last thing. So this is our filter criteria, the value that I assigned. The root device type is EBS. Okay, if you see the AB the root device types, you can find it the EBS instance. Root device type is EBS. You can find from that place also the virtualization HVM. So you can find every possible value to just narrow down your the AMI the images that you are looking for. Okay, so all things looks good. We are using the data, and we are using the Mumbai region. Let me save it, and now I'm going to PWT to see the locations. I am currently in the C Terraform demo, and the file, we have only two files. Okay, so we are going to initialize Terraform init. It will download the plugins that required for the AWS. It will take not more than 15 seconds to download the binaries. Once we have the binaries, we will run all these commands like the format, the validations. It's a good practice to always use that command before seeing the plan. Okay, so Terraform. Let me format it. If we have any syntax formatting error, okay, there is one problem in one file. For Terraform validate. So it will validate if there is any syntax error in any of the file. Otherwise, we have the success flag. Okay, Terraform plan. Okay, before running the plan, I'm just showing you that in the variable we have the value that is AMID is hard coded. Either we can comment it or we can remove it as well, or leave as it is, because we are not using it. For the AMI, we are using the data resource. Okay, so either you leave it or remove it. It's your call. Better to have it for other demonstrations. Okay, and now I am going to see the plan. So in our file there is nowhere hard coded to get the AMI ID. It will get it from the data, and data have the filters. On that basis, it will get the latest one. So let me check which AMI it's fetching. So FE1AA9C. Okay, for the Mumbai region. For the Mumbai region, FE1AA9C. So it's fetching the latest one which fulfill our criteria. If we apply the Terraform apply command, it will create an instance in the Mumbai region. Let me do one more thing. So now we are going to switch US East to one to check either it's running fine for the other region as well or not. So US, let me modify our code, the variable to US East 1. Okay, save it and then run the code again. Terraform plan, and this time it's running for the US East 1. So as per the US East 1, US East 1, we have 3C156B4. 3C, okay, 3C156B4. So this is the US East 1 region, and we changed it. So you can say that now our code is sufficient to get our latest AMI ID as per our requirement for any of the AWS reason. Previously, we are doing the hard-coded things to get the AMI ID as per our requirement, and it's for the other reason we have again to change it, or we can use some functionality as per the requirement of the different reason. We have to select different AMI ID. There are lots of way. If your organization want to stick for a particular AMI ID, then you can you don't need to do these types of dynamically fetching features for using the data resource. You can use the hard coding, and as per the logic in which in reason your particular Terraform apply command is deploy creating the infrastructure, you can use the AMI accordingly. So hope this particular session is very beneficial for you guys on this particular data issues uses. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends as well, and gives me a thumbs up, and I will keep posting on such an interesting video for you guys. Thank you. Have a nice day.